Hello friends. Hello, all kind and adequate people. Today's video is dedicated to the effect of taurine on metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is four main signs: abdominal obesity, high blood pressure, dyslipidemia, violation of atherogenic lipoproteins, and, of course, decreased insulin sensitivity or prediabetes. The fact is that metabolic syndrome is a condition that affects a lot of people. Even those who are feeling very well now are actually hostages of this condition. And, accordingly, it is necessary to strive to take all measures to avoid the development of metabolic syndrome. Because if you avoid it, then you will avoid a lot of troubles that will lead you to disability and death. And so I have already talked about taurine many times and wanted to make such a general video that will include all the old, already well-known information, and I will add new information. Of course, I do not pretend that this video will be the most complete on taurine. The fact is that science is developing rapidly, and maybe even by the time I'm recording this video now, some new information has already appeared. But as far as I know, I tried to display in this video all the information proven to date on taurine, and also dispel some fears that relate to its imaginary side effects. So, what's new? In May, a meta-analysis review article was published in the journal, which is a division of Nature. The journal is called Diabetes and Nutrition. What is meta-analysis? This is the highest degree of scientific evidence when multiple randomized clinical trials are taken and considered. A randomized clinical trial is the gold standard in medicine when studying the effect of a drug, in our case taurine, on people, on their health, on their condition. So, in this meta-analysis, which combined 12 randomized clinical trials, more than 1,000 people participated, indicators such as blood sugar, insulin resistance, and lipid profile were analyzed, and this is what was revealed. Taking taurine for 12 weeks led to a significant decrease in blood sugar levels, to a decrease in insulin resistance, to improvement of the lipid profile. It is important to note that the meta-analysis has proven not only the effectiveness of taurine for the treatment of metabolic syndrome, but also its safety. Taurine has been recognized as safe for use in these dosages for a long time. Evidence-based medicine relies on strict research standards to obtain reliable results. One of the key methods is a randomized controlled trial. In it, participants are divided into groups randomly. One group is given an active substance, and the other is given a placebo. Neither the patients nor the researchers collecting the data know who is taking which drug. This allows you to exclude the influence of subjective factors on the results. After the completion of the study, which can last from several days to a year, the data is analyzed. The researchers analyzing the results also do not know who received what treatment. As a result, after revealing all the cards, it becomes clear what works and what doesn't. This approach was used in 25 randomized clinical trials involving 1,000 people, who were followed from 5 days to 365 days. The study examined the effect of taurine, the dosage of which ranged from 0.5 to 6 grams per day. The results showed that taurine intake led to a statistically significant decrease in systolic and diastolic blood pressure. In addition, there was a decrease in fasting glucose levels. Taurine has also been found to reduce triglyceride levels. Triglycerides are fat-like substances that are mainly included in the composition of very low-density lipoproteins, as well as in small amounts in the composition of low-density lipoproteins. High triglyceride levels often indicate serious metabolic disorders, including insulin resistance. Studies have shown that taurine can have a positive effect on people suffering from prediabetes or type 2 diabetes mellitus. One of the interesting effects of taurine is a decrease in blood pressure. The mechanism of this effect is related to the effect of taurine on the vascular wall, where it contributes to the production of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide, in turn, relaxes the smooth muscles of the vessels, which leads to an expansion of the vascular lumen. The expansion of the lumen of the vessels increases the volume, which, with a constant volume of blood, leads to a decrease in blood pressure. On average, all groups participating in the studies showed a decrease in blood pressure by 4 mm Hg. Of course, this is an average value, and in some people the decrease in blood pressure may be more significant, while in others it is less pronounced. Taurine, among other things, inhibits gluconeogenesis in the liver. Gluconeogenesis is the process of producing glucose from non-carbohydrate sources, such as fat, amino acids, or lactic acid. Inhibition of gluconeogenesis leads to a decrease in blood glucose levels. This action is similar to the action of metformin, one of the most popular drugs for the treatment of type 2 diabetes mellitus. However, taurine, unlike metformin, has no side effects. Another important effect of taurine is to reduce fasting glucose levels. A meta-analysis, including data from studies on people with elevated fasting sugar and prediabetes, showed that taurine effectively lowers glucose levels. It is assumed that taurine activates the production of adiponectin, a hormone produced by adipose tissue. In people with a high amount of visceral fat, adiponectin levels are reduced. Increasing the level of adiponectin under the influence of taurine improves insulin sensitivity, which, in turn, helps to reduce glucose levels. It has also been noted that glucagon is known to be an insulin antagonist. It increases blood glucose levels. Consequently, a decrease in glucagon levels contributes to a decrease in blood glucose levels. In addition, taurine has been observed to improve the function of pancreatic beta cells. Beta cells of the pancreas located in the islets of Langerhans produce insulin. The faster they produce insulin, the less glucose levels rise after eating sweets. Finally, a decrease in triglyceride levels in the blood also occurs due to improved insulin sensitivity. Hypersensitivity to insulin stimulates lipolysis, the process of fat breakdown. As a result, the liver synthesizes more very low-density lipoproteins, which carry triglycerides to peripheral tissues, where lipoprotein lipases break them down into fatty acids and glycerin. The fatty acids are then absorbed by the cells and used for energy needs or deposited as fat. The main thing is that as a result of this action of lipoprotein lipase, a decrease in triglyceride levels is observed. High levels of insulin inhibit the activity of lipoprotein lipase, which leads to an increase in triglyceride levels. However, as soon as insulin sensitivity increases, triglyceride levels immediately decrease. If a person has high levels of triglycerides and very low-density lipoproteins, this may be a sign of decreased insulin sensitivity. Despite the fact that this was not included in the results of the meta-analysis, the use of taurine can help reduce low-density lipoprotein cholesterol levels. Low-density lipoproteins are particles that carry cholesterol to organs and tissues. The higher the level of low-density lipoproteins, the higher the risk of cardiovascular disease. Taurine is an amino acid that plays an important role in the regulation of cholesterol levels and, consequently, in the prevention of atherosclerosis. It acts on two levels. It increases the number of receptors for low-density lipoproteins, LDL, in the liver, which promotes the active capture and removal of cholesterol from the blood. In addition, taurine activates the enzyme 7-alpha-hydroxylase, which is involved in the conversion of cholesterol into bile acids. Bile acids, in turn, are excreted with bile and excreted from the body, which also reduces cholesterol levels. Due to its effect on cholesterol levels, taurine may benefit patients with metabolic syndrome, which is often accompanied by elevated LDL levels. However, it is important to remember that the use of taurine, like any other substance, must be coordinated with a doctor. It is important to emphasize that the information provided in this text is not a medical recommendation. It should be noted that taurine has GRA, generally recognized as safe, status, which means that it is recognized as safe to eat. This is confirmed by numerous studies that have not revealed serious side effects from taking taurine. The only possible side effect may be minor disorders of the gastrointestinal tract. The issue of carcinogenicity of taurine deserves special attention. Despite the rumors, taurine is not on the lists of proven carcinogens compiled by the International Agency for Research on Cancer. This means that taurine has not been identified as a substance capable of causing cancer. Research conducted on mice or in cell cultures is not a living organism, but only a model. It artificially grows cells that are watered with taurine and observe how this affects the transcription of certain genes. Many people know what transcription factors are. Taurine may be one of them, but this does not mean that it will necessarily cause cancer. The same can be said about insulin, growth hormone or testosterone. They are also transcription factors. Take, for example, salt. A little salt and everything is fine. But if you eat a pack of salt or conduct an experiment by pouring it on cells, the result will be cell death. Does this mean that salt definitely kills? No. It all depends on the dose and the context. Therefore, all these studies are just attempts. The interest around taurine is created by the news, but few people know how it works, what it is, and why it can slow down aging or increase athletic performance. You will understand this by reading the following chapters. We get taurine mainly from marine products and meat. Fish, shellfish, octopus and various types of meat. We usually get about 400 milligrams of taurine per day, and some of it is still produced by our body. The amino acid taurine is not essential, meaning our body can synthesize it. But sometimes he needs more taurine than he can produce. Then taurine becomes conditionally indispensable. Taurine is famous for its beneficial effects on the central nervous system, cardiovascular system and skeletal muscles. This is due to its multifaceted properties. Firstly, it is a great antioxidant. Antioxidants are molecules that prevent the accumulation of free radicals in the body. Free radicals are reactive compounds of nitrogen and oxygen. Taurine neutralizes the superoxide ion. It is an ordinary oxygen molecule, but with one free electron. This superoxide ion is extremely reactive. Taurine is an amino acid that plays an important role in maintaining our health. It has a number of valuable properties, one of which is its antioxidant activity. Free radicals, such as the superoxide anion, are highly reactive molecules that can damage the cells of our body. Taurine is able to neutralize excess amounts of superoxide anion, thus protecting mitochondria, the cellular structures responsible for energy production. Mitochondria function like hydroelectric power plants, where electrons move through membranes to generate energy. But this process is accompanied by a side effect, the formation of superoxide anion. The accumulation of this molecule leads to damage to the inner membrane of the mitochondria, disrupting its operation. Age-related changes in mitochondria, organelles responsible for cellular respiration and energy production, lead to a decrease in their functionality. Over time, mitochondrial DNA undergoes accumulation of mutations and oxidative damage caused by reactive oxygen species. This leads to a decrease in the volume, integrity and functionality of mitochondrial DNA. In the elderly, mitochondria exhibit a number of functional disorders, including a decrease in oxidative capacity, a decrease in the effectiveness of oxidative phosphorylation, a decrease in ATP production, increased ROS formation, and a weakening of antioxidant protection. Mitochondrial biogenesis, the process of creating new mitochondria, also deteriorates with age. Changes in the dynamics of mitochondria, including fusion and division processes, as well as suppression of mitophagy and autophagy process aimed at removing dysfunctional mitochondria, contribute to this decrease. Violations in the quality control of mitochondria, which ensure the removal of damaged organelles, exacerbate functional deficiencies of mitochondria in aging tissues. Increased mitochondrial-mediated apoptosis, programmed cell death observed in aging tissues, leads to an increase in the percentage of apoptotic cells. However, the implementation of strategies such as calorie restriction and regular physical activity can slow down the aging process of mitochondria and mitigate the age phenotype in humans, but our video is not about that. Taurine, due to its ability to neutralize the superoxide anion, helps to preserve mitochondria from damage, thereby contributing to maintaining energy balance and slowing down the aging process. Thus, taurine is an important element that helps protect the body from the damaging effects of free radicals and maintain health at the cellular level. Granules of special chemicals, one of which is hypochlorite, can release reactive oxygen species such as hypochlorite acid. However, excessive release of these substances, especially in inappropriate places of the body, for example, in autoimmune diseases, can be dangerous. In such cases, the attack of granulocytes on the body's own tissues leads to the destruction. Neutralization of hypochlorite acid with taurine in such situations is beneficial, since our body has intelligent systems that neutralize the accumulation of superoxide anions and other reactive oxygen and nitrogen compounds. One of the key enzymes responsible for neutralizing these harmful compounds is superoxide dismutase. This enzymatic system converts superoxide anions into ordinary molecular oxygen and hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide, although not harmless, is neutralized by another enzyme, catalase. With age and in various pathological conditions, the function of superoxide dismutase is impaired, which leads to the accumulation of superoxide anions in the body. Taurine restores the ability of superoxide dismutase to block the harmful effects of these anions, thereby increasing the activity of the body's antioxidant systems. In addition, taurine has a significant effect on our metabolism and energy production in cells. The main source of energy in cells is the Krebs cycle, where, with the help of aerobic oxidation, with oxygen, of glucose, adenosine triphosphate, ATP, is formed the main fuel for our body. The lack of ATP in the cells leads to death within a few seconds. Taurine activates enzymes that play a key role in the Krebs cycle, contributing to increased ATP synthesis in cells. That is why taurine is used in Japan to treat heart failure, when the heart cannot cope with producing enough ATP, which leads to an improvement in the energy supply of the myocardium. The next important property of taurine is its ability to enhance the oxidation of fatty acids. Fats are an effective source of energy, which makes taurine especially important in the context of a ketogenic diet, where the body switches to using fats as the main source of energy. Taurine is an amino acid that plays a key role in maintaining the body's energy balance. It activates enzymes responsible for the oxidation of fats, which leads to the production of energy in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. That is why taurine is often added to energy drinks that increase the performance of athletes and people who need a short-term surge of strength. A famous example of a drink with taurine is Red Bull, but there are others. In addition to its energy properties, taurine also has protective functions. It strengthens the endoplasmic reticulum, the organelle where proteins are synthesized. Taurine prevents the accumulation of spoiled proteins in cells, which accumulate with age, contributing to the disruption of cellular structures. An important feature of taurine is its ability to regulate gene expression, that is, turn on and off the synthesis of certain proteins and enzymes. Taurine is present in significant amounts in cells of the central nervous system, where it interacts with gamma-aminobutyric acid (GABA) receptors, having a calming effect similar to GABA. However, with chronic use, taurine activates the key enzyme of GABA synthesis, glutamate decarboxylase, thereby contributing to an increase in the amount of GABA in the body. Taurine also protects the nervous system from the negative effects of cerebral circulatory disorders by neutralizing excessive release of glutamate. Do not forget about the ability of taurine to stimulate autophagy, a process that allows cells to get rid of unnecessary structures, clearing toxins and maintaining normal functioning. Taurine, which is an organic molecule, plays an important role in metabolism, cell function and protection of the body from various harmful effects. Its presence in the body is due to both its own synthesis and its receipt from food. In the context of cellular metabolism, taurine contributes to the purification of waste generated in the process of vital activity. Such waste includes fragments of proteins, inactive enzymes, remnants of bacteria and viruses. Taurine activates proteasomes, the cell organelles responsible for the processing and disposal of such waste. Thus, it prevents the accumulation of toxic substances in the cell that can disrupt its work. In addition to participating in metabolism, taurine has pronounced antioxidant properties. This means that it protects cells from damage caused by free radicals, which play a significant role in the aging process. Studies conducted on a group of women aged 55 to 70 years showed that taking taurine at a dose of 1.5 grams per day, 500 milligrams 3 times a day, for 16 weeks, led to a significant increase in SOD activity compared with the control group taking a placebo. These results suggest that taurine has an antioxidant effect that helps slow down the aging process. In addition to its antioxidant activity, taurine has other properties that can have a positive effect on the aging process. It helps to reduce chronic systemic inflammation, which is also a factor in aging. In addition, taurine protects proteins from degeneration, which prevents the destruction of cellular structures and improves their functionality. Taurine also has neuroprotective properties, protecting nerve cells from damage and slowing the development of neurodegenerative diseases that are often found in old age. Taurine stimulates autophagy, the process of self-eating of a cell, which allows it to get rid of damaged organelles and proteins, contributing to its rejuvenation. Thus, taurine has a multifaceted effect on the body, contributing to its purification from toxins, protecting against oxidative stress, suppressing chronic inflammation, maintaining the integrity of cellular structures, and stimulating renewal processes. This suggests that taurine may play an important role in slowing down the aging process and maintaining human health. Taurine is an amino acid that plays a key role in maintaining the body's energy balance. It activates enzymes responsible for the oxidation of fats, which leads to the production of energy in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. That is why taurine is often added to energy drinks that increase the performance of athletes and people who need a short-term surge of strength. A famous example of a drink with taurine is Red Bull, but there are others. In addition to its energy properties, taurine also has protective functions. It strengthens the endoplasmic reticulum, the organelle where proteins are synthesized. Taurine prevents the accumulation of spoiled proteins in cells, which accumulate with age, contributing to the disruption of cellular structures. An important feature of taurine is its ability to regulate gene expression, that is, turn on and off the synthesis of certain proteins and enzymes. Taurine is present in significant amounts in cells of the central nervous system, where it interacts with gamma-aminobutyric acid GABA receptors, having a calming effect similar to GABA. However, with chronic use, taurine activates the key enzyme of GABA synthesis, glutamate decarboxylase, thereby contributing to an increase in the amount of GABA in the body. Taurine also protects the nervous system from the negative effects of cerebral circulatory disorders by neutralizing excessive release of glutamate. Do not forget about the ability of taurine to stimulate autophagy, a process that allows cells to get rid of unnecessary structures, clearing toxins and maintaining normal functioning. Taurine, which is an organic molecule, plays an important role in metabolism, cell function and protection of the body from various harmful effects. Its presence in the body is due to both its own synthesis and its receipt from food. In the context of cellular metabolism, taurine contributes to the purification of waste generated in the process of vital activity. Such waste includes fragments of proteins, inactive enzymes, remnants of bacteria and viruses. Taurine activates proteasomes, the cell organelles responsible for the processing and disposal of such waste. Thus, it prevents the accumulation of toxic substances in the cell that can disrupt its work. In addition to participating in metabolism, taurine has pronounced antioxidant properties. This means that it protects cells from damage caused by free radicals, which play a significant role in the aging process. Studies conducted on a group of women aged 55 to 70 years showed that taking taurine at a dose of 1.5 grams per day, 500 milligrams 3 times a day, for 16 weeks, led to a significant increase in SOD activity compared with the control group taking a placebo. These results suggest that taurine has an antioxidant effect that helps slow down the aging process. In addition to its antioxidant activity, taurine has other properties that can have a positive effect on the aging process. It helps to reduce chronic systemic inflammation, which is also a factor in aging. In addition, taurine protects proteins from degeneration, which prevents the destruction of cellular structures and improves their functionality. Taurine also has neuroprotective properties, protecting nerve cells from damage and slowing the development of neurodegenerative diseases that are often found in old age. Taurine stimulates autophagy, the process of self-eating of a cell, which allows it to get rid of damaged organelles and proteins, contributing to its rejuvenation. Thus, taurine has a multifaceted effect on the body, contributing to its purification from toxins, protecting against oxidative stress, suppressing chronic inflammation, maintaining the integrity of cellular structures, and stimulating renewal processes. This suggests that taurine may play an important role in slowing down the aging process and maintaining human health. Taurine is an amino acid that plays a key role in various physiological processes of the body, including regulation of heart rate, strengthening the immune system, maintaining neurochemical balance, as well as stimulating the growth and development of muscle tissue. Special attention is drawn to its ability to counteract the aging processes and minimize the risks of age-related diseases. Taurine is naturally found in marine products and meat, but it can also be obtained in the form of dietary supplements. The availability and affordable cost of taurine make it an attractive choice for people seeking to improve their health and well-being. One of the key applications of taurine is sports medicine. Studies confirm its positive effect on athletic performance, especially in connection with the protection and restoration of mitochondria cellular power stations. Taurine stimulates mitochondrial biogenesis by replacing damaged mitochondria with new ones, which increases endurance and accelerates recovery after physical exertion. This effect is related to its ability to influence the expression of genes responsible for the synthesis of proteins necessary for the reconstruction of mitochondria. In this regard, taurine is often used in sports drinks. Such supplements can have a positive effect on athletic performance, especially in athletes engaged in high-intensity training. In the context of studying the mechanisms of aging and muscle physiology, taurine, an amino acid present in the body, attracts attention with its multifaceted action. As previously noted, a substance that helps repair damaged mitochondria plays an important role in slowing down the aging process. Mitochondria are known to play a key role in cellular metabolism, and their aging is one of the key factors determining the aging of the body as a whole. Taurine, in turn, has a significant effect on the regulation of intracellular calcium. Calcium plays a crucial role in the process of muscle contraction, ensuring the interaction of actin and myosin, the protein strands responsible for muscle contraction. Taurine regulates the movement of calcium in the cell, ensuring its entry into the actin-myosin interaction zone during contraction and removal into the sarcoplasmic reticulum, an intracellular calcium reservoir during muscle relaxation. The distribution of taurine in the body is also uneven. The highest concentration of taurine is observed in slow or oxidative muscle fibers, while in glycolytic or fast fibers, its concentration is 6 times lower. This is due to the peculiarities of the metabolism of various types of muscle fibers. Slow muscle fibers rich in mitochondria are involved in maintaining long-term muscle activity, for example, when walking, middle-distance running, swimming, cycling. They are able to efficiently use oxygen to generate energy, which ensures their endurance. These fibers maintain a high level of ATP, the universal energy fuel of the cell. In addition, there is no significant accumulation of lactic acid in them, which allows you to avoid burning and shortness of breath. The high concentration of taurine in slow muscle fibers is not accidental. It is associated with a high concentration of mitochondria in these fibers. Taurine, due to its multifaceted properties, including its ability to support mitochondrial metabolism, plays an important role in maintaining the function of slow muscle fibers. Thus, taurine, due to its numerous properties, including regulation of intracellular calcium, support of mitochondrial metabolism, is an important factor determining the functional activity of slow muscle fibers, which play an important role in maintaining endurance and daily motor activity. In the context of physical activity and athletic performance, there is considerable interest in the effects of taurine. There is an extensive amount of research in the scientific literature on the effect of taurine on various physiological parameters, including speed, strength, endurance and recovery after exercise. However, despite numerous studies, the results remain contradictory, requiring a more in-depth analysis. Some studies demonstrate the positive effects of taurine on running and swimming speed, as well as on maximum oxygen consumption, VO2 max. VO2 max is an important indicator of aerobic endurance, reflecting the maximum amount of oxygen a person can absorb in a minute during exercise. High VO2 max is a characteristic feature of endurance athletes, such as Olympic champions, and is usually 3 times higher than the average person. Another aspect that attracts the attention of scientists is the involvement of taurine in the beta-oxidation of fatty acids, a key process for providing energy during prolonged physical exertion. Effective beta-oxidation allows the body to use fats as an energy source, which is especially important for long distances, such as triathlons or marathons. Some studies show that the use of taurine, in various dosages, from 1-2 grams to more than 5 grams per day, does lead to positive changes. In particular, there was an increase in VO2 max, improved speed and strength, increased endurance, reduced muscle pain, and a reduction in the level of inflammatory markers in the blood after training. However, in order to sort out conflicting information, scientists resort to systematic reviews, which are a methodical analysis of data obtained from several studies that meet certain criteria. Such reviews can be quantitative, meta-analyses, where the results of several studies are combined to obtain more accurate conclusions, or qualitative, providing a description of key results. Currently, there is a systematic review that has studied the effects of taurine on aerobic and anaerobic performance. Despite the large number of studies included in the review, the results were limited and heterogeneous, making it impossible to draw definitive conclusions about how effective taurine is for improving athletic performance. Regarding the effect of taurine intake on recovery after training sessions and muscle damage, the available data are mixed. The effectiveness of taurine may depend on the time of intake, the type of workout performed, and other factors. Further research is needed to better understand the potential of taurine to improve aerobic and anaerobic performance, reduce muscle damage, metabolic stress, and accelerate recovery. The conducted meta-analysis does not allow us to draw an unambiguous conclusion about the positive effect of taurine on athletic performance. The safety of taurine is of interest, as it is a common amino acid synthesized in the body. However, as with any supplement, side effects such as nausea and diarrhea may occur. It should be noted that these effects may be associated not only with taurine itself, but also with other components of a dietary supplement. To date, there have been no officially registered cases of taurine harm. Despite the general safety, there are a number of theoretical concerns. Taurine helps to reduce platelet aggregation, which can affect the blood clotting process. Although bleeding associated with this effect has not been observed, some people prefer to consider the theoretical risks. Another aspect is the ability of taurine to slow down the activity of cytochrome, an enzyme involved in the metabolism of drugs such as warfarin, statins, antidepressants and antiepileptic drugs. This slowing down of metabolism can theoretically lead to the accumulation of these drugs in the body, requiring dosage adjustments. It is important to emphasize that the above applies exclusively to the use of taurine as a pharmacological agent and does not apply to healthy people engaged in physical activity. There are no restrictions on taking taurine for such individuals. However, it should be remembered that individual characteristics of the body can affect the reaction to any drug, including taurine. In this regard, it is recommended to consult with your doctor in order to exclude possible contraindications related to the patient's health condition. The doctor can assess the presence of any factors that prevent the appointment of taurine in this particular case. As a personal example, the author of this text takes taurine at a dosage of 2,500 mg once a day, planning to continue taking it for 12 weeks. However, this information is not a medical recommendation and should not be taken as a guide to action. In the description of the video, you can find links to research and familiarize yourself with it.